Okay. Hey, welcome to another Thoughts on Thursday, coming at you from my favorite room in the house where we do homeschool. So, okay, last week I brought up just some thoughts about worship, just things I've been thinking about, processing with my husband about how we define worship. And I really loved all of the thoughtful comments that came in. And by thoughtful, I don't mean like nice. I mean, lots of nice comments, yes. But thoughtful, like I could tell that so many of you were considering what I was saying and kind of joining me in this processing and like really thinking about it and really giving some thought to it. And there were other comments that like weren't as fun to read, if I'm totally honest. You know, obviously these videos, I'm trying to keep them shorter, you know, it's better and easier that way. So obviously there are so many other things I could say and so many other thoughts behind this, but just as I say, this is Thoughts on Thursday. It's just literally just thoughts. These are just little snippets of kind of what I've been thinking about. And when I started doing Thoughts on Thursday, I kind of decided, you know, that I wanted to start having conversations about some things and address some things that I think need to be addressed. And some of these conversations I think are honestly hard conversations. And there are things in regards to worship and the industry that I just think need to be talked about. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with these little snippets and little pieces of videos where I'm just kind of bringing up some different things and talking about some different things. I'm just kind of setting the table for us to have some of these conversations. And I kind of do want to provoke, like I saw that there's the thoughts in the comments, people saying, oh, I haven't thought about this, or I haven't thought about this, or well, what about this? What about this? I just think it's good to have the conversations. It's really vulnerable. Honestly, social media is not really a place that I enjoy, as I don't think it's really that healthy. And I don't really spend a lot of time on there, and I don't spend too much time in the comments because it is kind of a scary, vulnerable place sometimes. And it does bring unwelcomed thoughts sometimes and criticisms. Speaking of that, that brings me to another topic regarding criticisms. I was just having a conversation with my husband about this not too long ago. This is something we've been talking about a really long time. And then the conversation came up with another friend over text message. And I was like, I'm not the only person thinking about this and talking about this and thinking this way. And so I wanted to bring it up because it's kind of funny. But this is real. It's so real. So when I, as a worship leader or other worship leaders or worship artists or whatever kind of label you are giving them. And again, going back to last week, I guess, you know, depends on what we define as worship. That could determine what kind of label you might give someone. Anyway, put it all out there. If I go out and we do like a tour, I'm doing a tour in South Africa in June, really excited about that. I've been asked with all this new music that's coming out, will I be doing a tour here in the US? We've been talking about it, but the one thing that just grates against me and my husband when it comes to tours is the cost. And the criticism has come many times before for many years. Why are you charging money? Why do we have to buy a ticket to go worship God? And truly, just those words. Well, yeah, I mean, no one wants to buy a ticket to worship God. Go to church on Sunday, worship God. Turn on some worship music, worship God in your house. You don't need to buy a ticket to go worship God. Certainly not. But the bummer part is that to go out and to do the tours, to do those things, it costs a lot of money. Money that we don't have. It costs money to, you know, churches typically charge. They rent out their venues for us to use. And some churches are like, well, this is maybe how they pay the bills, how they, pay for their building, I don't know, pay the electricity. They have a whole host of people that are usually working there while the event is going on, you know, whether it's security or helping with parking or just someone kind of running things around there. They'll have people who are, what am I thinking of? helping manage like the flow of people coming in. Cleanup, like people coming in to do cleanup afterwards. Like, I mean, all these things. There's the cost of getting everybody there, tour bus or flights or, both. There's the cost of paying the people, paying the production guys who are running the sound, paying the band. Like there's all of these costs involved in it. And Skylar and I have said to friends who work within the different companies that help put the tours on, we've said for years, a dream in our heart is to be able to go out and have a tour where every night is free. Just come with your family. It's just free, just to be there. But that is something we've actually worked trying to find a way that we could do that and make that happen, like how we could go out and have it be free. And the only way that we could do this is if it was just funded. And like I said, I would love to just do it, to just make it happen. But I can't ask my band members to come and work for free away from their homes, away from their families, or even partially away from their regular full-time jobs. I can't just ask, these production guys or a tour bus, hey, tour bus company, you want to let me borrow a tour bus for a few weeks for free? The other part of it is we've even gone to, the full other side of the pendulum swing and kind of gone, well, I mean, is that wrong? Do we just not go out? Do we just say, I lead worship, at church once a month when I'm scheduled and, you can come see me there? Or do we not actually go out and do the things? And that doesn't really feel right either, because the other side of it is years and years and years of testimonies of what God does in these nights when we go out and we serve the body of Christ in this way. And the other part of that is just that I feel called to serve the body of Christ, that this is what I love to do, is to get with other people around the world, in other churches, in other cities, and come together in unison and worship Jesus. It's so powerful and so special and so incredible. And I love to see what God does in that time. I love to hear the testimonies. There are testimonies that really stick with us of what God did, that, we sit at our dinner table and we share with our kids, that we talk about, that we remember. There are testimonies that we remind ourselves when things are hard, or we're up against something, or we're looking at a mountain and we go, oh, do you remember in this city, this person that came and shared this testimony of what God did in their lives? We cherish that. It's incredible. And so I don't know that the answer is to not go out, but it is a really frustrating thing. And I hear those criticisms, and I get it. I've had those same criticisms. And so here's something. You could pray with us that God provides. If you have it in your heart, by all means, you could fund it. You could fund a tour for a worship leader to go out and do what they do. You got a bus? You want to donate a bus? It could happen. You could do that. Because wouldn't it be incredible, like I said, to be able to go out and to do what we do and to not have to charge tickets? Yes, I agree. So I'm just putting this out there. This is just another thought on a Thursday. I think it would be so powerful to have these things funded, to be able to go out and to gather people and to say it's free. Bring your unsaved friends, invite your family, bring them all there, and let's all worship Jesus together. I will say, and I will add though, I have had many times in the past where we've done these tours and gone into churches, and at the end of the night, when we go to settle up with them to pay them what we owe them for renting their building and everything, when many times they have come to Skylar and I and said, we don't want you to pay us. This was not a show. This was not a performance. This was not a concert. This was ministry, and we were so blessed. And so we want to bless you, and we don't want to charge you to use the building. And that is an incredible blessing to us that every time has moved us to tears when churches have done that. That has just been so special. So anyways, all that to say, I know that God is faithful, and I know that God makes a way, and I know that this is a big dream to be able to go out and to tour and to not charge. And we haven't forgotten that dream. We're still praying for that. And I do believe it's going to happen one day, because I think it's important to the heart of God, and I think it would be impactful.